episode right here at the airport. And it's not only this episode, I'm starting this whole series right here at the airport. Just landed in Addis Ababa and I'm waiting for my hotel shuttle. Just got a call, I think it should be from the hotel. Let's see. Hello? The one thing to know is that if you're arriving here in Addis Ababa, is that pretty much the expectation is that your accommodations, your hotel, will provide you with a shuttle to take you from the hotel and then drop you off at your accommodations. I had no idea that that was even the expectation until I got here, and then a fellow passenger told me that while I was waiting to pick up my bags at the carousel. So I approached the taxi drivers and they told me an exorbitant price to take me to my hotel for $25 and then jumping down to $10, and when the actual price should maybe be $3-4. If you think about it, it should be 300 beer to 600 beer at the most. But I was unable to negotiate it down to that price, so I just called my hotel and they sent me a shuttle. And the driver's name is Barettet. It's a nice name. Barettet is a nice name. Right now, heading to the hotel, Hayes Hotel. Gonna check in, and then I had a meal actually on that 1.5 hour flight from Nairobi, surprisingly. Ethiopian Airlines is great, and you see its branding pretty much all over the airport here in Addis. People tell me that there's one thing in this country that works well, and that's Ethiopian Airlines, and everything else is kind of a mess. But gonna head to the hotel, hopefully have a good night, check in, rest, and then tomorrow Timkat. Yeah. Tomorrow is one of the. It's a all of Ethiopia. Yes, a holy day. You go to church. Orthodox church. Yeah, so tomorrow is one of the largest holidays for the Orthodox Ethiopians. Timkat, which is basically Epiphany, I think, in English. I don't really know what that means, but we'll find out all about that tomorrow. I'm going to go to the hotel and find out exactly how people celebrate it and where we can go see the festivities tomorrow morning in Addis. Good morning. Today is January 19th, and check out this view I have of Addis from my hotel room balcony. Definitely. So obviously on arrival to Ethiopia, there is so much going on about this country in the news right now, so there's a lot I have to talk about, but I cannot talk about right now. Of course, if you search on the news, you'll find so much more about what's going on here, especially in the north of the country. What I'm going to touch upon right now is exactly how I'm going to spend my first day here in Addis. I've got 3 days here. This is the first day of Timkat, and the celebrations will go on for the next 3 days. But we're going to see some of the celebrations as well as check out other parts of the city and see the culture. And I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen because honestly, this is one of the regions of the world where I feel like it's completely foreign to me. Ethiopia is one of the few countries in the global south which has never been colonized. So you don't at least feel like there's at least similarities in countries which have been colonized by the British, and I feel very comfortable in those countries. They're Anglophone. You see a lot of the same brands everywhere. Very similar culture that the British sort of imposed on the local people. And then French, colonized countries, I speak French, so I feel comfortable there. However, this is a place where I really don't know what to expect, even just like walking around. Is it safe? I've heard so many negative things about Addis in particular and Ethiopia, and then a lot of people tell you, can you even visit there with the civil war that is taking place in the north? So everything is really up in the air for me, but today I really would just want to take some time to get to know the city, stroll around, see what we can find, what we can see, how are Ethiopians celebrating one of the most important days on their calendar and one of the most significant days for the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, which is again a culture I know of almost nothing about other than eating some Ethiopian food in Seattle and Washington DC, which are cities with such big diaspora communities from the Horn of Africa. I really don't know what to expect. And definitely that's a part of the fun. We're in a high altitude city here in Addis, so about 7,000, 8,000 feet altitude. So it is a bit chilly. I've brought out my merino wool base layer and I have another little cardigan on top of it. And yesterday when I arrived in the airport, I could easily take care of all the necessities. Withdrawing local currency, the Ethiopian bid from the ATMs at the airport is pretty easy and very seamless. And so is getting a SIM card. It was very quick compared to some of the other countries. And there's an office for EthioCell or EthioTel or Com or whatever it is. There's only one company, I believe, here in Ethiopia. There's no competition with like Airtel and Vodafone and Safaricom and all these other companies that you see all around Africa. Here, I think it's only one state-owned telecommunications company, and you can find their office right at the airport. I was able to do that very quickly, even if my flight landed around 8:30, 9 p.m. The office was open, and I could get my SIM card very, very easily. Got about 1 month unlimited data plan with some minutes for $20. So I think that will keep me happy and satisfied for the 10 days that I'll be here. So I've been trying to do some research online as well as asking around at the hotel as to how people exactly celebrate Timket. I think through reading a couple of articles, I've gained a basic understanding of what the significance of this holiday is. It's basically, Timket means baptism, and so it's celebrating the baptism of Jesus in the Jordan River. And how it's celebrated here is that churches will typically try to do a recreation of the whole baptism process by carrying a relic or a model of a relic of the Ark of Covenant, which is basically, I guess, this old chest which contains Holy Scriptures. They will carry that from the altar of the different churches and then take it to a body of water and use that as a sort of model for Jesus being baptized into the body of water. Again, don't quote me on any of this. This is not the cultural sphere that I know well or really know anything about at all. I'm starting from complete zero on everything about the Horn of Africa. So I think what I've heard, these celebrations take place all over Ethiopia and definitely all over Addis, but I've been trying to find out where the most prominent celebrations will take place. And all the locations I've been given have sort of converged on one area of Addis, which is the center of the city in the Jan Meda sports ground. So that's an open area where people will perform these ceremonies and rituals. And then there's also the 6 kilo traffic circle. That whole area is like right in the center of the city, right next to Jan Meda as well. So I'm going to try to grab a ride-hailing vehicle down to that area, walk around, see what we can find, just try to get a sense of what the city's like, especially on such a festive day. My ride dropped me off a little ways away, but I think I'm in the right place. Everybody's sort of gathered here in their white traditional clothing with really colorful embroidery, the colors of the Ethiopian flag and everything. So I think I'm in the right place. There was a little police check to enter this area, but they really didn't care about my camera at all. And so I'm hoping that's indicative of what the atmosphere is like for me filming and vlogging around here, because it's super, super interesting so far. I really, really want to be able to show you everything. It would be great if I could find someone from the Ethiopian diaspora who lives in the US here to exactly explain to me what's going on. Because I actually have no idea. I'm just kind of like following the crowd right now. But there's just so many people out on the street and they all like look like they're here for one purpose. So I'm just following everyone in the white cloth with the beautiful embroidery, with the flags, with all the decorations and the like. I think I just passed the gates to the actual Jan Meda ground here. This is sort of where the entire crowd is converging. I don't really know what's going on, but I'm just peeking through the different corners and seeing what people are up to. There's some sort of recitation taking place, but other than that, it's a spot for people from different churches to come together, perform their own ceremonies and rituals, and then there's also a festival kind of atmosphere with people selling food, different companies making their presence known here as well. I mean, I can't say different companies, at least the one singular monopoly, the one singular state-owned telecom company is here. But overall, there's people with their families hanging out, celebrating, taking photos together. Very celebratory atmosphere. But I honestly am it's not my cultural sphere, so I don't really know what's going on. But just walking around, people watching is great. Trying to learn a little bit more about their traditions and see if they can find somebody. nationalism is strong here. It's not surprising. I mean, the Ethiopians were one of the first people to adopt Christianity as it left the Roman Empire in the Middle East. And so aesthetically and also in practice, the Christianity followed by the Ethiopian Orthodox Church almost resembles something closer to Judaism or Islam, more so than the kind of American or Western European Christianity we often see represented today. What's your name?
My name is Kabru.
Kibrum Fitu. He explained to me that it's like a piñata game that's taking place right here. There's a guy blindfolded, and then he has a large stick, and his goal is to hit this little like bucket pail kind of thing that's hanging from the bars. And then if you hit that, it falls.
Culture game. This is culture.
It's a cultural game. Yeah. So it's a cultural game. It's basically like a piñata game. So this guy, he has a stick and he's blindfolded. He's going to try to knock this thing down. It's such a nice atmosphere out here, and it feels 110% safe just because it's all family crowds out here. A lot of women, children, people, multi-generational groups of families here, all picnicking, eating food, watching the festivities, checking out the different traditional games that are being played, like the piñata game. There are groups of people crowded around different card games. Of course, the one game that we can all recognize here is soccer. Plenty of people kicking around a ball, and there's soccer goals also put up right here on the sports ground. I assume that that's what the sports ground would normally be used for, if not for the Timket festivities. So everyone, I'm kind of abruptly back in my hotel room. Did not plan to come back this early, but right after I left the little shirt set up there, a bunch of guys started coming up to me, grabbing my arm, and then another one, and then another one, and they all started encircling me. And this was like right in the middle of the crowd of families and everything right there, and then all making it seem like they were having a normal conversation with me, grabbing me really tightly one after another, really like catching me off guard. And then suddenly I feel like a hand in my pocket. Even I'm wearing zippered pants, that's where I kept my phone. I felt a hand in my pocket, and then instantly I look up, and by the time I could even process it, you realize your phone is gone, and these guys who've been grabbing at you have completely disappeared. And I obviously screamed at my phone, and so people around me are like, they probably like ran away. I don't know, but you're just left in a state of absolute shock. And all I know right now is I have to get out of here. So getting out of the crowd, trying to go up to one of the police or security forces, letting them know what just happened. They're like, there's basically nothing I can do. So I'm like, at least I need to go find somewhere where I can get a taxi. So I have to walk all the way back out of that area, find somewhere where I can get a taxi, get it in a taxi, and then find my hotel. And with all the road closures here, it's like taking forever. And all you need to do is like, you need to buy some time. Like, time is of the essence here. See if I can log back into find my account and see if I can find the location of my phone to get over to a police station. But yeah, I just got back finally to my room, logged in. The phone is offline, obviously, but at least I was able to put it into lost mode and hopefully erase the phone by the time it connects to the internet. But I'm sure they're really smart. They know exactly how to do what they want to do in these situations. I'm sure they have a playbook for how to steal and then get things offline and then get it off the grid before anyone can find them. So I'm not banking on finding this phone. It's just utterly disrupting, and it's the first time I've ever had anything like this happen to me in all my 50 plus countries of traveling in the past 10 years. I've never lost a phone, and that too in my pocket, in a zippered pocket, during broad daylight. It's not even like noon yet, and with so many people around. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's exactly how people explain these things happening, and when it happens to you, you don't know how to process it. It's about 3 p.m. I just got back from trying to recover this phone with the hotel manager, as well as the hotel's IT person and the driver. They've all been so helpful. So I really want to say I think that they're actually more representative of Ethiopian people than these youths who decided to sort of grab me and then steal my phone and run away. That's not at all what I'm trying to say about Ethiopia at all, that it's a place that you shouldn't visit. Actually, while driving around, all the roads are closed, so it took a real long time to stop by all the police stations and then get back to the hotel. And I really wish everything was going well so I could enjoy the vibrant celebratory atmosphere of seeing outside. Everyone's outside in their traditional clothes. Families are out. People are celebrating. People are cheering on a parade that looks like it's going all around town, with each church's relics being paraded around the city. And it's all something I want to enjoy, but instead I'm here, I'm still mentally frazzled. It's the first time something like that has happened, and it just makes you feel entirely unsafe. Even when you're about to do something that you know is safe, everyone will tell you is safe. It just plays with your mind that way. But all in all, it was just a material loss. At least I escaped unharmed. Nothing else was taken from me, like my passport or any documents that I really need to travel with. My plan is continue pursuing the police, and then the hotel manager told me that he has friends or an under the table route, which includes dealing with other criminal gangs who might be able to go after those people who ended up taking my phone. We pay them, they recover the phone, everyone's happy. So, I don't know. It does in general put a damper on things, and you start having this existential crisis or this crisis of personal safety, knowing that you do everything right, but still something can go wrong. If there's a will, there's a way, and those guys who grabbed me this morning definitely had a will. But overall, I do not want this experience to keep me from traveling and pursuing this mission that I've had of showing you that the world is approachable. There's so much out there that's worth seeing and visiting, and that the dominant narratives about some of these places, which the dominant narrative of Addis that I received was that it's dangerous this way, but still, that the dominant narratives surrounding the entire world are not always true, and there's something positive to see when you're on the ground. And I do see something positive on the streets of Addis. I just wish I were more in a mental state to go out and interact and engage with it, but for the moment I think I'm going to stay glued to my iPad to find my iPhone and see exactly where it is, if it moves at all from where we've been tracking it all afternoon. So that means I'm going to be staying in the hotel, still recovering mentally a little bit, and then I'll maybe just grab some lunch from the hotel restaurant. But I will keep you all updated as well. As I told you, it's the ups and downs of travel. I've had so many ups in the past 3 months. Got to have one down. To be honest, I'm literally startled enough that I'm just going to the hotel restaurant, probably paying for an overpriced, mediocre Ethiopian meal. But the surroundings are nice. It's a nice hotel. That's at least one good thing. You can have really nice hotels for an affordable price, and there's plenty to choose from. Okay, I figured I couldn't just stay within the four walls of my hotel forever. When do you ever find yourself in Addis on such a festive day? So I figured I'd at least walk out the door and head onto the main street and see what I could find. I was actually thinking about going to one of the coffee shops right down the street. It was the typical kind of Western espresso kind of coffee shop you'd find, but you're here in Ethiopia and they have such a strong and rich coffee culture. So I saw one of these coffee carts is serving Ethiopian coffee, which is really good. It's really strong coffee. And I saw that there was these guys sitting here, so I figured might as well sit here and get my coffee. I can be on the street and see people, still feel like I'm enjoying the atmosphere and watching all the people watching as life goes by on the street. But then you can also sit down and talk with these guys. I've been asking all around for what the best phones are. Now that I obviously am phoneless here in Ethiopia. But yeah, they've been really helping me out, like giving me a good sense of what's available here, and then also teaching me Amharic, which I think I already forgot. Well, how do you say? All I know, salam, salam, hello. That's easy. And then, how are you? Is denane for a guy. For a man, denane. And then denaning, nish for women. And then for I am well, it's denaning. So whenever it's I, it's always ending. Neng. Denaning. Okay, so I at least learned something. So maybe if I just started talking to the people who robbed me, they wouldn't have robbed me. But it's been good. It's such a festive atmosphere. There's good music outside. Did you go to the parade?
Yes.
The parade here, right? Yeah. It's good. And then I don't know, just making the most of today. I didn't want it to be a complete waste because if you're here, you've got to enjoy Addis. Addis, it's good. You enjoy it? You have a lot of fun. You have a lot of fun in Addis. Yeah, a lot of friends, and then restaurants, eat good food, drink coffee. Do you drink beer? No. Sometimes. Okay. Okay, good. You drink Habesha? No, Habesha.
It's hard.
No.
I drink
Georgia.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's the other one.
Yeah.
That's also made in Ethiopia?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Habesha is international.
Habesha?
International. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's the famous things in Addis?
Parks.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Park.
Yeah.
Unity Park.
Oh, okay.
It's in the city.
Yeah.
Zoo.
Zoo. Oh.
We have a zoo.
Yeah.
That's the famous thing.
Yeah. Okay.
The palace.
Okay. Palace. Okay.
That's beautiful.
Good.
Wow.
See the palace. Yeah. Okay. Nice.
Let me show you the place, how we're gonna make it.
So I asked exactly how this Ethiopian coffee is brewed because it's really, really strong. And they're like, oh, well, we're brewing it right here. Like, we'll show you.
This is our original place.
Oh, okay. This is really nice.
Yeah. Anybody can take a book and read.
Yeah.
Can enjoy the pictures
Perfect.
and enjoy his coffee freshly. You have a soft drinks also. You can enjoy anything you want. Let me show you the inside. This is our kitchen. First we roast the coffee and then we roast the coffee by hand.
Oh, okay.
We beat the raw coffee on this pot and let me show you. This is a charcoal burner, traditional charcoal burner. And we roast the coffee on the charcoal burner. And it's like this. And it will take this color.
Okay. So you also roast it here.
Yeah.
You do the roasting here
Yeah,
too. Wow.
we do the roasting by hand.
Oh, wow.
By hand over here in this place. Then we grind the coffee and we make the coffee.
Nice.
And we make the coffee by this material. It's called the javana. Look how it's gonna put on the steam. This is our traditional way of roasting and making a coffee. This is called sini.
Sini.
Sini. That's a pot. And it's called the javana. This is our traditional way of coffee. This is the modern way, the takeaway way.
Yeah, takeaway.
Anyone can grab it, go. And this is how we're gonna make coffee. If you come tomorrow, I will show you the full process by my own.
These are the experiences I wanted to have here in Addis, not the whole trauma of getting your phone robbed from your body, but these are the real Ethiopians I want to meet, and so willing to share their culture, so passionate, setting up such beautiful, what they call it, friendship spots. They display the art of their friends. They have their friends' books and literature here for perusal by clients. Just somewhere where you can sit and really appreciate the Ethiopian tradition of brewing, roasting, and drinking and serving coffee. It's really, really amazing. It was so nice to hear a little bit about coffee culture because I know you guys have noticed that I've been complaining about the lack of caffeine in some of these countries I've been visiting, but that is not a problem here at all. In fact, coffee is just so ever present here in Ethiopia that most people, their first taste of coffee is literally when it is roasted and then ground and then brewed and served by their mothers in their homes. And they do this whole process from the whole raw bean to it being served and boiled and served and all that, like, at home, which is incredible because even in such a coffee culture city like Seattle, these cafes that are charging $6 or $7 for a coffee, they do not roast their own beans in-house. But here it's literally happening in-house, like in your own home in-house. So glad I stepped out of my hotel, sort of overriding all those bad memories of Addis with some good memories, meeting some really, really great fun guys.
We try to raise that memory.
Yes.
We try to raise.
No, you're definitely doing the most you can. You're really good. This is what Addis is about. This is why I came here. Hearing that this song is a song from Oromia, right?
Yeah.
And it's a song about unity. You all live together. You live together in love. And where else would you want to play the song but here in Addis, in Ethiopia, with everything that's going on? So that's why everyone's embracing and then dancing. They're having the best time of their lives. This thing about getting things stolen in this modern age is that technology won't even let you forget about it. Like, I've just been like glued to my Find My screen on my iPad, just watching my phone float around the city from place to place. And it's like you just want to try to come up with some sort of logical reason to connect the dots for all the different locations that the thieves are taking this phone, trying to make up a story for, oh, are they trying to take it apart? Are they trying to sell it to somebody outside of the UN headquarters? Are they then trying to like take it to dinner at this place? It's just like, I don't know, the phone kind of becomes your travel companion at some point, and you kind of care about it. You give it human qualities, and you're just like, is it okay? Are you suffering like I'm suffering? I don't know. Are you thinking about me? So, I don't know. I can't even just be like, okay, it was bound to be lost, and now it's lost, and there's nothing I can do to get it back again, because I'm being reminded minute by minute, every now and then, whenever they turn it on and it pings a new location. And so you really can't get over it and just move on anymore. But really, everybody has been so helpful. It seems like that's like the drama around this hotel right now, is where in the world is Nikhil's phone, or where in Addis is Nikhil's phone. If this phone gets back, it'll be a fun time. It'll be a party. I'm treating everyone to drinks. But it's, yeah, definitely really good time. Really good people. I just wish I didn't meet those couple people who decided to completely hijack my day in Addis, because I went outside and had a great time. As you saw, people were singing, dancing, just having the best time of their life, and I wish I could have been wholeheartedly a part of that today, because that was the plan. I don't know, overall, cutting my losses. If I can get the physical phone back, that would be great, but I don't know, it doesn't seem likely at the rate that these people are moving, because today the city is pretty crowded. There's a lot of people here, a lot of people out on the street. The roads are closed, but everyone's saying tomorrow will be a lot calmer, even though it's still part of the Timket holiday. So it'll be easier to move around the city and track things down, but let's see.